a pocket watch.
It's beautiful, thank you. Wait, what does this say?
I turned 55 on a quiet Wednesday, the kind of birthday that doesn't ask for attention. No party, no big celebration, just a simple dinner at home. My stepdaughter, Emily, showed up a little late, holding a small black box with both hands, like it was the most important thing in the world. She smiled, but it seemed a bit too careful. "This is from me," she said. Inside was a watch. It was heavy, looked expensive, and the back was engraved, "To the man who stepped up when he didn't have to." My throat tightened. I didn't even think, I just pulled her into a hug. For years I'd tried so hard to just be a steady presence in her life, never to replace her real father, but just to be there. That watch felt like the recognition I never knew I needed, and I was so proud. The very next day at work, I showed it to a coworker during our lunch break. He took it, turned it over, and his face changed. He got quiet. "Are you sure this is from your stepdaughter?" he asked, his voice low. I kind of laughed. "Of course," I said. "Why?" He hesitated for a moment. "It's just that engraving. I feel like I've seen it before." I brushed it off. I mean, people engrave similar sweet things all the time, right? But something about the way he said it stuck with me. That evening, I was looking at the watch and noticed it was already scratched. Not just one scratch, but fine little marks all over it like it had been worn for a while. That seemed odd for a brand new gift. So, I did something I felt a little guilty about. I looked up the serial number online, and my heart sank. The watch wasn't new at all. It had been registered 2 years ago to someone else. A name I didn't recognize. I didn't confront anyone right away. I just waited, with this heavy feeling in my gut. A week later, I overheard my wife on the phone in the garage, her voice just a whisper. "I told you I handled it," she said. "He believes it's from her." My stomach just dropped to the floor. The pieces were starting to click into place, and I didn't like the picture they were forming. That night, I sat down with Emily and asked her where she bought the watch. She froze. It was only for half a second, but it was long enough for me to see it. "Online?" she said quickly. "Why?" I just looked at her and said, "No reason." Of course, I checked our shared financial records. There was no purchase, no transaction for a watch. So I went deeper. I dug into my wife's old email archive. And there it was, buried deep in her old messages. A receipt from 2 years ago for the exact same watch. It was addressed to a man whose name I didn't know. But when I searched his name, everything came crashing down. He was my wife's former colleague, the one she always said was just a friend, the one she suddenly stopped talking about after he supposedly moved away. This watch wasn't a gift. It was a leftover, a relic from her past. They had taken this old secret and repurposed it, just to keep me happy, to keep the peace, to keep me in the dark. I just sat there at the kitchen table until midnight, holding the watch in my hand, feeling like the biggest fool in the world for how proud I had been. When my wife finally came into the kitchen, I placed it on the table right between us. "Whose was this really?" I asked, my voice flat. She didn't even try to lie. She didn't cry. She just let out a long sigh. "It was a long time ago," she said. "Why are you digging this up now?" Just then, Emily appeared in the doorway, her eyes wide with fear. I looked from my wife to her. "So you both decided," I said slowly, "to lie to me together." Emily started crying. My wife just told her to go to her room. "You used her?" I said to my wife. "You used me?" Her reply was cold. "It was easier this way. You don't handle conflict well." I actually laughed. It wasn't a happy laugh. It was a short, bitter sound that surprised her. "You don't know me at all," I said. I packed a bag that night. It wasn't about anger or revenge. It was about certainty. At my age, I just wanted truth and I wanted distance. The divorce wasn't some big dramatic scene. Months later, Emily reached out, she apologized, and there were no excuses this time. It was real. Now we meet for coffee sometimes. She just shows up, and that's it. She brings nothing with her but herself. And that's more than enough for me. As for the watch, it sits in a drawer somewhere. I never wear it. I learned that some gifts aren't meant to be kept. They're meant to teach you who people really are, especially when they think you're too old, too tired, or just too grateful to notice the truth. They were wrong. Thanks for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.